Hi guys, today we want to look at manual metal arc welding, and we say manual metal arc welding is also known as arc welding or just stick welding. In this type of welding, a bare metal rod is used with no flux coating, which give a protective shield. When an arc is struck between the metal rod, that is what we call an electrode, and the workpiece, both the rod and the workpiece surface melt to form a weld pool. Also, the stability, depth of penetration, metal deposition rate, and positional capability are greatly dependent on the electrodes used and will affect the arc. This in turn is greatly influenced by the chemical composition of the flux coating on the electrode. When you are performing the manual metal arc welding, you must have the protective clothing. The outer clothing should be free from oil, grease, or flammable substances. Also, while performing this operation, you protect the forearms from exposure to arc rays, sparks, and slag. So make sure you do not roll up the sleeves. Also protect the front of the body from the throat to the knees with a suitable leather cap and apron. You should also wear a suitable leather gloves to protect the wrists. And in terms of the sparks and slags, while performing this operation, the molten metal in the form of sparks and spatter can cause damage to the ears and also the eyes. Slag resulting from some arc welding operations can cause burns to the eyes and exposed parts of the skin if incorrectly removed. Let's look at the fumes and gases. We have three types of fumes and gases, and the first one is the visible fumes. These ones appear as smoke rising from the weld. And also we have the invisible fumes. This one cannot be seen and is a mixture of a number of gases. There is what we call the fume extraction. So when welding in the workshop, extraction must be used to dispose of welding fumes harmlessly. Now, the face protection. While carrying out this type of welding, you must have a helmet, and also you should have a hand shield or the face shield. And this face shield should not have any cracks on it, because if cracks occur in the fiber material, the shield should be immediately replaced, since the leakage of arc rays may cause serious burns. Also, when performing this manual metal arc welding, we normally have quite a number of hazards, and exposure to the rays can result to discomfort, can also cause temporary injuries, permanent physical injury, or it can also cause death. And one of the things we should try to avoid by all means is the hazard of fires breaking out in our welding booths, or in our welding areas. So the threat of fire is always present in the welding environment. Fire hazards include sparks, heat, and molten metal. So we are told you should not weld near flammable materials. If possible, you move to a safe area. And if this is not possible, remove all flammable materials from the area or protect them with sheet metal or other flame-proof covering. Keep fire extinguishing equipment nearby. For example, you should have fire buckets, hoses, and fire extinguishers. Also have smoke detectors nearby to spot possible fire hazards. And you should not also weld or cut metal touching combustible walls, ceilings, partitions and coverings, etc. Let's now have a look at the electrode types. And we have three major types of manual metal arc welding electrodes. The first one is what we call cellulosic electrodes. And this contains high proportion of cellulose in the coating and is characterized by a deeply penetrating arc and a rapid burn off rate giving high welding speeds. The second type is the rutile electrodes. This type of electrodes contain high proportion of titanium oxide in the coating. And finally, we have the basic electrodes. And these electrodes contain high proportion of calcium carbonate, limestone, and calcium fluoride in the coating. Now, before we do the welding procedure, or before we do the welding, we have a procedure to follow so that you can achieve a good weld. And first of all, you should set up the environment, and this involves preparation of the joints to be welded. So the edges should be smooth. And after you're done with the setup, on the part of the equipment, the welding plant should be capable of providing the correct current and voltage without overheating. Also, the electrodes. Make sure you choose the electrodes of the correct type and size for the job in hand. Another point is tacking. So tacks should be sound and penetrating, as they will eventually form part of the completed weld. And lastly is on the current setting. The current setting will vary according to the type of electrode setup and the welding position. So that is all we have for today, unless if there is someone who has a question. So if there is no question, we shall stop there for today. Thank you for your time.